Hi, I'm Liron Cohen.
And I'm Mimi Torchin.
And you're listening to Lady Parts TV, the podcast.
Whee!
Hello, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Welcome to 2022.
It's snowing.
It's snowing here.
Beautiful.
It's, another year. Let's hope it's a better one.
Yeah. Well, at least it looks like a winter wonderland.
Yeah. It's nice for the first few minutes, then it gets tiring.
It's true.
Anyway, it's been a while since we talked to you last, and we tallied 47 shows.
We've been busy.
Out of which written or co-written by a woman 23, which is 49%, directed by a woman 17, which is 36%. But there are new things happening, and we'll get to all of those now, next week, the following week, and another year of TV and movies.
Which was about
Fun.
the best thing about
the last couple of years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to start with
a new limited series, Close to Me, available on Sundance now, and I really hope you have it because this was fantastic. Based on the novel by Amanda Reynolds, it stars one of my favorite actresses, Connie Nielsen.
If you don't remember her, she's the one who subbed for Mariska,
and she's
on
also
SVU.
Wonder Woman's mother.
That's right.
Yes. Susan Lynch, who's in 100 million things she's Irish, but in, Great Britain, and Christopher Eccleston, who gets around.
He does, doesn't he?
Yes. I have a feeling I read this book, but I know if it wasn't it's not this particular book I've read.
Well, there have been stories like that
like
before.
This, many of them, especially in the kinds of books I like. Jo Harding. She's
Connie Nielsen.
Connie Nielsen, a very intelligent, accomplished woman, falls down the stairs, and when the show starts, she has no memory of the last year. She also, has to go through a lot of rehab and stuff. She's very, very strong. She's very smart. And she just knows she's not being told everything by almost everybody. She has 2 grown children. And Christopher Eccleston
Who's her husband?
Is her husband, and he just seems a little dodgy.
Yeah.
But they seem to have the perfect life. First of all, they have a gorgeous home.
Let's start there.
Oh, my God. What I wouldn't do for that house. And they have a pool, too, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think I saw a pool.
No?
No.
Okay, maybe I'm mixing it up with something else.
Maybe.
Anyway, it's gorgeous. And as the episodes go by, she starts to unravel things.
Yeah, I mean, as we said, it's not a new story, but what's new about this or different about this is just how well it's told and how well it's acted.
It's so twisty-turny.
It's very suspenseful.
Very, very suspenseful. And she is, I think, and Liron agrees, Liron doesn't like her. Doesn't like her as much as I do.
It's not that I don't like her. It's that I've never had any kind of special feelings about her. I never even had really much exposure to her before. But she really showed what she can do in this one.
She is just fantastic. She's so empowered.
And yet vulnerable.
And
And that's the thing about this show, that it managed to really take us into her head post-brain injury and really feel the confusion and the loss and the pain and the suffering and the frustration, all of it. She was so good, and we were just talking about it, that pretty much every single scene was her.
Was her.
Yeah.
Yeah. She worked very hard in this. And I just loved it. She's just fabulous.
Yeah,
and
we highly recommend it.
Very good series. If you like psychological thrillers, this is one for you.
And who doesn't like psychological thrillers?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Close to Me
is on Sundance now.
Okay, now to probably my greatest surprise of the end of 2021, let alone 2022 has not yet had a chance to surprise me much. I shudder.
Well, I don't want to be surprised, except how
just
well
television-wise.
I want 2022 to be surprising because of how great it is.
Yes. this is the Sex and the City reboot, which for some reason has a different name. Maybe Samantha Kim Cattrall took the name rights with her. I don't know. It's called And Just Like That, ... It's on HBO Max on Thursdays. Created by Darren Star and Michael Patrick King, of course. The original based on the book by Candace Bushnell. Starring the 3 out of the 4, Sarah Jessica Parker, Cynthia Nixon, and Kristen Davis. Kim Cattrall, we don't know why, decided not to take part in this one. Also, the cast includes this year Sarah Ramirez, Nicole Ari Parker, Karen Pittman, Sarita Chowdhury, Brenda Vaccaro, Mario Cantone as usual, Chris Noth, who luckily only was there in the beginning before the shitstorm happened.
Yeah.
And Willie Garson, who died halfway into the series.
It's interesting to see how they dealt with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody is perfection.
I just have to say, I watched the original. You did too, right?
Yes, of course.
I don't remember too much of it, except I remember it was groundbreaking and very well written. But I remember
a lot about sex.
It was so obsessed with straight people. And straight people, straight women dating and trying to find a man. So to me, I liked the show despite that. But this version, now that they're not in their 30s, but they're in their 50s and they have, more substantial lives and more substantial personalities, it's so much better. And it's all about the women, the friendships.
It's also about things that are happening in the world.
Yeah.
It very cleverly tackles a lot of issues.
Very cleverly. Just social issues.
Issues.
Political issues. What I love is that they because most of the shows will tackle it in a way that will show what you're supposed to do.
Right, and they'll show that they're aware. They want to make themselves be, hip and socially conscious.
This show shows all the messy stuff about it and how we all really feel about it. And then it also shows this is why we need to change. This is why we need to understand and know better. But, because I have a problem with people who say the wrong word and then get their head bitten off.
Oh my God.
Because the intention is what matters. You want to be able for people to dare to have conversations so that they can learn. But if they're afraid to open their mouths, they will not learn.
Which we are rapidly becoming that society.
Right. You want to be able to have an open discussion, which is civilized and where the intentions matter and where you're going matters. So I found that this show does it brilliantly.
Especially because not all of these things are really necessary.
Well, besides the point, it manages to make fun of things and at the same time show what they mean and go to the nitty-gritty of things and the pain of it.
The writing is superb.
And the acting.
The acting is great. Oh my God, Sarah Jessica, their timing, the 3 women have such great timing.
They're like well-oiled machine at this point.
Oh,
after all these years still.
And when it was starting, Leron said, "Are you going to watch the Sex and the City reboot with me?" And I said, "No." I said, "I'm so uninterested. Those 2 movies just were such a buzzkill." And
then we saw a picture of Cynthia Nixon and Sarah Ramirez doing something interesting. And I thought, you do
so I
want
said,
to
okay, I'll watch the first one. Well, I don't even like Sarah Ramirez, and I was, happy for the turn of events, and it's just, I'm so glad that I had an open mind.
So
I will
good.
always watch something once.
It's so good.
It just is great. It's better than it was originally.
It's better than it was originally, and it's so good that I have to ask, why did they even bother making those stupid movies?
I know, and they were terrible.
They were the reason.
Turn-off.
Yes, they were the reason I didn't think that I would like this. If they didn't happen in the middle, I would have thought, okay, based on the original show, sure. But those movies were so stupid.
Well, this is not stupid.
This is far from.
Very, very consequential.
It's excellent, and if you're not watching it, please check it out because it's so good and it speaks to real issues of real women, and it's just that they're a delight to watch. They really are. And I've been loving Karen Pittman. I've been loving Nicole Ari Parker.
Which one is Karen? Oh, Karen Pittman is
the professor.
The professor. Yeah. I adore her.
Yeah.
And I've always loved Nicole Ari Parker, and she plays such a lovely character.
I know.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to have nice women.
And Sarita.
Yeah. Oh, Sarita Chowdhury is out of this
one of the best roles
in this. Yep. Oh, she's so hot and she's so funny and she's so boss. She's her real estate agent and she's just boss.
I just love this
Carrie's
show.
Real estate agent.
I just love this show so much. I'm so surprised by it and I'm thrilled to tell you.
Yes.
So if you're not watching it, and just like that,
HBO Max
on Thursdays. Now, this is my territory because it's a show from Israel, so I'll be talking about it. This show is called The Girl from Oslo. It's available on Netflix. It's a Norwegian-Israeli production, so in Norwegian it's called, pardon me for not pronouncing it correctly probably, Bortfort. In Hebrew, it will be easier for me to say. It's called Azharat Masa.
Easy for you to say.
It is easier for me to say. Created by Kier Holm Johannesson and Ronit Weiss-Berkowitz.
There you go.
Starring, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you because unless you're Norwegian or Israeli, you're probably not going to know. But all excellent actors.
Excellent. Everybody is wonderful.
And this show, it's 10 episodes, but every episode is only about a half hour.
Yes.
Which is surprising because it's not a comedy. It's very much a suspenseful thriller action.
But this way you can binge more for less.
And we did. As well, we did.
I think we finished it in a couple of days.
We did. We had our plans all laid out to watch Barbara for New Year's Eve, which we always do. And don't tell Barbara, but we started watching this and we kind of had to finish.
Yep.
So this is the story is about Pia, who is a young Norwegian girl. She comes to Israel. She has other reasons.
An agenda.
Yes, but we'll find out about them later. And she and two of her newly made Israeli friends get kidnapped by ISIS. So it's a kind of it goes between Norway and Gaza and Israel and Egypt and many places and many different moving parts. And it's very, very suspenseful and compelling.
Very suspenseful.
We binged it. We kind of couldn't stop.
Everybody also was excellent.
Yes, we really enjoyed it. You know, it's like the Israeli #1 genre that is completely Israeli, right?
Yes. And I don't know why I never saw Amos Tamam before, but he is a beautiful man.
We've seen him in things, but he hasn't been around enough.
He's so handsome.
He hasn't been around enough, but I have a feeling that he will be around more now. Anyway, this is called The Girl from Oslo. It's on Netflix. Binge it. Okay.
Okie dokie.
Now, I am so excited and thrilled, if you don't already know, to let you know that Wendy Crewson is on our screen now on a weekly basis.
On CBS.
On CBS.
I know, we don't want this show to get too good and too edgy because then they'll snatch it out from under us and put it on Paramount Plus, so we have to pay for it.
You know, I have to say that CBS has been doing, besides the fact that they're fuck you CBS for moving things, but they have been showing things that are a little edgier for CBS, and I'm kudos to them.
Yeah. I always feel like they're auditioning them to charge us for them.
But I can't imagine that they make a lot of money on Paramount
Plus. And I also
Plus.
can't imagine that, well, that's why they had to dump CBS Plus.
CBS, what's it called?
CBS Now.
No, CBS
anyway,
On
it's
Demand.
dead.
Anyway, All Access.
CBS Indirect.
Anyway, fuck you, CBS. But thank you for putting Good Sam on. It's a new show on CBS on Wednesdays at 10 p.m., created by Katie Wesh. Starring, I have to say, because they are top billed, Sophia Bush and Jason Isaacs, and Wendy Crewson in a very nice sized role.
Nice substantial role. She gets good billing. She's on our screen quite a bit.
Yes.
And she looks great. Not that matters.
Wendy Crewson fans will know that there are often times when you watch a whole movie only for a 5-minute scene that has Wendy in it, or at least that's what we do. Yeah.
Maybe it's just us.
Not the case in this time.
No.
This time she has a really nice sized role.
In a medical drama. Medical
drama, which is our favorite genre.
My God.
So we're so excited to A, have another medical drama, B, have Wendy on our screen every week, and C, have Wendy in a medical drama every week. So it's like, Anyway, I'm a little excited. You may be able to tell. Anyway, the show actually is very good. In addition, I really enjoy
premise.
I really, really enjoy it. It has a lot of medicine in it. For those of you who love medicine like I do. So Sophia Bush is a cardiothoracic surgeon, and when her boss, who is her mentor and her nemesis at the same time, something happens, he goes into a coma, she gets his job as the head of the department, and I'll stop there to let you enjoy the process.
Yes.
But there's of course a team that works with her.
Wendy is the hospital administrator.
Right. I didn't know any of the actors playing her residents or whoever they are.
But they're good.
They are good, but we don't know much about them yet. So we'll see how that develops. But Wendy's there. I very much enjoy Sophia Bush in this.
Yes.
All I knew her from was Chicago PD, and this is very much a different role for her. She gets to be bubbly and have much more personality than she did in her tormented Chicago PD role. And we enjoyed it so much. We even loved the music, and that is a bone we have to
pick with many shows, especially cop shows.
They just have too much music.
To the Rookies' music, it overpowers every scene that they're in.
It really does. It's very distracting and it's very annoying. But in this case, it's classical. It's almost movie music. Very dramatic. I like it very much. Anyway, Good Sam is on CBS Wednesdays at 10 p.m. and we really think it's good and you'll enjoy it. So check it out. And Wendy. Oh. Now for 2 movies.
Yes, 2 movies that couldn't be more different.
Couldn't be.
One on Netflix now, Don't Look Up. Written and directed by Adam McKay, and starring a huge cast of A-listers: Jennifer Lawrence, Leonardo DiCaprio, Meryl Streep, Kate Blanchett, who's hilarious.
Wait. Did you say Meryl Streep and Kate Blanchett?
Meryl Streep and Kate Blanchett.
Worth the price of admission right there.
Jonah Hill, Mark Rylance, Tyler Perry, Timothée Chalamet, Ariana Grande, Melanie Linsky.
Okay. I have to make a little detour. Since we've mentioned Melanie Linsky. How obsessed are we with Yellow Jackets? Oh my God.
It's hard to wait for Sundays, right?
Oh my God.
Sundays is very good anyway, yeah.
I told you that I was obsessed last time we talked.
Now we're even more obsessed.
Oh my God. I don't know how. And I'm happy to say that they've been approved for a 2nd season.
Yes. We're not
going to find everything out.
No.
But there are only 2. But I'm happy about that because they really are mining all the psychological aspects.
There's a whole lot of what happened back then and what is happened in between, and there are people we still haven't found. I mean, they're found, but we haven't been reintroduced to them.
But what I love is because
adults.
As opposed to things like Lost, it's not about the mystery; it's about the human aspect, the human psychology. That it's just so mesmerizing. I love it. Okay, sorry, go back.
Okay. I think we were on Don't Look Up.
Yes.
Yes, please, don't look up. So, 2... we have
Jennifer
low
Lawrence
level
and Leo
here,
DiCaprio.
but I'm not sure they're low level. They're just stashed away in a lab in an observatory somewhere. They discover a new comet, and it's coming right towards Earth. So they go to the president to try to get things done. Meryl Streep, and Meryl could just care less. All she cares about is getting reelected.
Well, she's basically Trump.
I wonder what party she's in. Yes, she's basically Trump, but she's better looking. She's not much smarter.
She's basically Trump, and her son, played by Jonah Hill, is basically Don Jr.
Don Jr., yes. And he plays her chief of staff. Anyway, he becomes especially a media darling, and to try to convince people to take this seriously.
Because there are things that they can do if they start early enough, because they have 6 months before the comet reaches Earth. They have things that they can do to try to thwart it, to try to prevent it from coming to Earth, but having to convince both the government to do something and the people.
Sound familiar?
Actually, though, this movie was made before the pandemic, which is pretty mind-blowing.
Very mind-blowing, but obviously Adam McKay knows
who he's dealing
with, yes.
This whole denying of science, and especially
making fun, not only denying science, making fun of science. This is a challenging movie, and it's upsetting because it's very timely. If you just take a comet and put pandemic in it.
It's the same thing.
It's pretty much what we're
that's what's sad, is that it's supposed to be satirizing reality, but it doesn't really need to. It's kind of like what we've been saying about SNL, that you don't really need to do something. You just show what really is, and it's yes. already above and beyond what the mind could conjure up.
Yeah, satire doesn't sell too well in America, but
satire is America right now.
Well, I think tragedy is America.
Yes,
right now.
Tragedy, but there are things that if somebody told you 20 years ago that this would be the stuff that would happen, you would say, is this a kind of an apocalyptic movie where people have lost their entire mind?
Anyway, this is an apocalyptic movie where people have lost their entire minds.
Except it's based on reality.
Well, it's not based on reality. But the premise is not based on reality, but the idea is definitely what's happening right now. It's a very good movie. Yeah. Don't pay attention to your friends who didn't like it. Pay attention to your friends who did like it, or pay attention to us. It's an excellent film. Leonardo's wonderful.
I can see how people who are not from America, some of the cultural things that you need to understand might not translate as well. I can see that.
And the media frenzy side of it is very
American.
Real, very American. Leonardo sort of falling into liking the attention, and
it has a lot of substance, a lot of things to say if you really listen. Mm-hmm. And I want to just let you know that you should stay for there are the credits.
You must.
The credits roll, and it's not a sharp object kind of situation. They don't wait too long, but stay, because the coda is so funny.
It's so brilliant,
and
it also wraps up the entire film. So you really and there's a joke that's early on that is payoff in this coda.
It's so good.
Do not leave
before
in the credits, right? Okay, I'm glad you remembered that, because I had forgotten. It's very important. I just don't know why movies do that. Wait 10 seconds and then do it.
Don't they know that people don't have the attention span to stay for the credits?
No, they don't have the attention span of a gnat.
So Don't Look Up is on Netflix. Don't be put off by the bizarre premise. Just watch it.
Exactly.
Really, it has a lot to say, and the actors are fantastic.
They're fabulous.
Finally.
Now, here's a movie that I've been waiting for since I heard about it. And
well, I mean, when you hear Olivia Colman, do you need to hear anything else? No.
This is The Lost Daughter on Netflix now, written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, who makes a very auspicious debut.
Very.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Based on the novel by Elena Ferrante, who I just found out through reading an interview with Maggie Gyllenhaal. Elena Ferrante is a nom de plume. For all we know, Elena Ferrante is...
a dinosaur.
No, is...
a man.
James Patterson. I mean, I don't know. But she's very prolific and has written a lot of books. And this stars, let's just give you the cast, Olivia Colman, Jessie Buckley, who plays Olivia Colman Young, and she's wonderful. Dakota Johnson, Ed Harris, Peter Sarsgaard, who's married to Maggie Gyllenhaal, by the way.
I didn't know that.
Yes, now you do.
Now I do.
And Dagmara Dominici.
So now we know how he got this role.
Yeah, he had to sleep with the director. And she apparently is on Succession.
You mean Dagmara Dominici?
Dagmara Dominici. I just mentioned her. She's wonderful.
Wonderful.
And yes, we're going to start watching Succession, because we are the only people we know who
also
don't.
Dakota Johnson
is wonderful.
Really
wonderful.
Now I'm impressed.
Yes.
Now I'm impressed with her.
Ed Harris is a wonderful presence in the film, and it's a very interesting movie. And all they talk about is, what a bad mother she is. Dagmara made some kind of also in an interview saying that she's so tired of this stereotype of bad mothers. She said, mostly there are mothers doing the best they can.
I think that if people, I wish people had more awareness watching this film, because I can see how watching this you could think that if you don't have input into the psychology of generational abuse and trauma and neglect, because you can see it so clearly when you do know that. Mm-hmm. You can see that she you can't give what you never got.
Right.
And you, even though you don't see Olivia Colman's character or Jessie Buckley when she was young, you don't see her as a little girl, and you don't know what kind of a mother she had. Just by watching how she mothers her daughters, you can see what kind of mother she had. And again, this sort of thing, it's so easy to blame the mother for everything, but also let's talk about why is the mother usually the primary caregiver, and oftentimes the sole caregiver.
Exactly.
She can only do what she can do, and while she has to balance a whole lot of other things at the same time, and still want to have a life and have feelings and have fears and all these things. So
and she did have a life. She had an intellectual life. She was,
which was put on hold.
Yes, and someone in the film says that the most important thing you can give your child is your attention.
It's true. But what did I tell you? That when you see Jessie Buckley interacting with people, you see how desperate she is for attention.
Exactly.
And you know that she never got it, which is why she can't give it to her kids.
But don't worry, it's more of a psychological abuse. It's not
it's not even abuse, it's neglect.
No,
it's a little bit of it's emotional neglect.
And just the very brief little description, a woman's beach vacation in Greece takes a dark turn. She begins to remember and confront through these people she meets.
There's a family.
A very, like a mob family.
That encroaches on her peace and quiet.
Exactly. Anyway.
That alone gave me anxiety.
Her troubled past creeps in, and these people creep in. And an interesting thing, which sort of changes almost the whole flavor of that family, is that they originally wanted to shoot in New Jersey.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I guess they were going to be a real mob family, not I mean, they are, but they have a
They're from Queens, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
They have a Grecian. They have a big pink mansion there that they come to every year, and there's a lot of them, and they're very intrusive people.
I have to say though that even though the movie shows all the problematic connections between the mother and the daughter, I felt, especially by the time we got to the end, that there was some healing that was done too.
Yes, I do too.
Maybe there wasn't a lot of emphasis, and maybe again you have to watch the movie very carefully and with a lot of kind of attention and love. I can see how easily you can
be judgmental and
demonize the mother and see only the superficial layer of it, because there are a lot of weird things that happen.
A lot of weird things happen psychologically, and you wonder why. What was that choice all about?
Yeah.
And
which is why it really merits careful viewing.
It does. It's a wonderful film.
It's haunting.
It haunted me. It still haunts me.
Yeah.
Whenever I think about it, I still get kind of, I feel the darkness of it. I feel the looking for the light of it.
And Olivia Colman's face showed so much. I felt her anxiety on every turn.
Yes. And the relationships on the island are very interesting. It's brava, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yes,
you did a great job.
I was even relieved because at the beginning she did a lot of extreme close-ups. And I was like, enough with the extreme close. She listened to me.
Yeah,
she stopped. She stopped. She just did it at the beginning to make you feel kind of
a little uncomfortable,
disoriented.
It's
too
what
close.
Am I watching here? Do I,
too intimate? Wait, I don't know you well enough yet.
Exactly. And she does. She puts you a little on guard, and you should be a little on guard.
Yeah, no, it was very good. It really did kind of
great
disconcerting.
Acting. Everybody is fabulous.
Yes, and I really urge you to watch it with compassion.
The kids are wonderful too.
Yes. And that's the other thing, that the less attention you give a child, the more the child will act out. The less attention the parent will want to give it, or the more bad attention it will get.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's tough.
Anyway, The Lost Daughter on Netflix now. I think the only really great thing that the pandemic did was put a lot of films that would not have been on streaming for a long time, right there after a couple of weeks.
We're looking at you, Steven Spielberg. Where's West Side Story?
Yes, come on. I'm still waiting. Okay, I might be able to see
Black Widow.
But I'm not paying for Disney, so...
Anyway, so that's our recommendations. I think we gave you a plate full of onion rolls and bagels.
Gave you a cabinet full of tasty dishes.
So go and binge and watch and let us know, as always, what you thought. And we'll see you back here next week, all right?
Stay warm
safe
and safe.
Bye.
Bye.